Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm here this morning to share with you my completed journal, and I've called it my Crafty Happy Place, and it features kits from My Porch Prints, My Craft Room, Cottage Girls Fussy Cuts, and a freebie called Craft Words, all from My Porch Prints. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm sure you have a craft space or a room or a corner, and it's a very special place. I know from experience that all of you have the same trouble I do in keeping it neat and beautiful, because we love so many things, and I love lots of different crafts. But in this it's along two walls in my guest room, I have what I call my craft studio, and it's all for my paper crafts. I kind of have evolved over the years. I've done painting, I've done crocheting, knitting, stitchery, all kinds of crafts. And right now, for the past 4 years, I've been working mainly with the paper crafts and the digital kits and journals. So I'm anxious to share this with you. There's always more that I could do, but I'm done with this. I'm going to keep this one for myself and write in it ideas or thoughts or pictures or whatever I want to do with it that have to do with my crafty happy place. I have used the same beautiful lace trim that I used on the front and back edges here to for a closure for this journal. I have these beautiful rhinestone pins that I got off of eBay one time for my shop. I was reselling them, and I just pinned that on there because I think it's so pretty with this, and it can be taken right off, I think. Wrong end. Okay, just a minute. There we go. Okay, I got it off, so we'll lay that aside. And this, instead of tying it in a bow, I just tied it in a loose knot, and it comes right off of the journal, and I'll put that to the side also. This journal was made out of a vanilla wafer box, covered in paper, and I've done a couple of previous videos on this showing how I got it started that you'll want to go back to if you want to look at the whole project. On the cover, I've used that beautiful lace and some of the images all from the shop. This is just a flip through, so I'm not going to describe how I made everything, but I'll do a little bit of description. These beautiful flowers I use on the covers of journals sometimes. I got from Hobby Lobby. And this pulls out of here the jar buttons, and it says My Crafty Happy Place Journal inside. I've trimmed this with lace along this edge and on the back. This journal is 3 signatures that I have sewn into a hidden spine, and I've left the strings down, dangles, to put little charms on. I found these really pretty enameled flower charms that I've used, and also various butterflies. On the inside front cover, I've used a stack of tag elements here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets, and each one has a tag or journal card inside. And this was this was in the kit, and you just cut out these openings and glue it down, and then you've got the 5 pockets. I've used some hand-dyed lace here, and this is one of the freebie craft words from My Porch Prints. Okay, we'll go through the first signature here, and I've used lace to stick out here on the edges of every 2 or 3 pages, just to give it this beautiful look when it's finished up. This picture I didn't embellish except to put the words Journal Girl and these flowers at the bottom. I love the images in this kit. On this page I used one of the freebie labels and some beautiful lace and one of my little cottage girls with a basket of flowers. Up here I've used one of the envelopes. There were several in the kit. I put one of the little tabs on it and butterfly flower and a little piece of lace. And this opens up and just has a couple of little things inside that can be written on if you want to write on those. I didn't put a closure on this. I could have used Velcro or something, but it stays closed okay. I try to leave these writing pages with as much writing space as possible, but I still wanted to decorate in some way. So on this page, I put one of these pockets that were included in the kit, and still it left some writing space on this page. I decorated it with lace, one of the freebie craft words, my little cottage girls, and a fern, and some beautiful burlap flowers. And inside the pocket I have this tag, and all the tags are fixed to write on the back, and a smaller tag. I have a cart similar to this in my room. It's full of all kinds of lace and ribbon and trims that I use, and I can just pull it up to my side when I'm working on a journal. This pretty lace here came from Hobby Lobby, and I've attached on some charms, a couple of flowers, and a butterfly. On this page I used a let's see, I made 4 of these pocket tags in a video previously that you'll want to look at if you want to see the details, and I decided to use them to embellish my pages inside, and they're all glued on in such a way that they also create a pocket. So this tag has a pocket, and it also creates another pocket at the top. Decorated with some old lace. This is from Amazon, and I rubbed my ink on it so it wouldn't be such a stark white. This over here is a hidden paper clip of sorts. It's got a bow tied at the top of the paper clip, and it comes down on both sides. I have put some journal cards in here so that this whole page can be written on. You can tuck anything in there you want to. And on this side we have the jar with the scissors. I have a pocket down here on this page. I didn't want to totally cover up the window, but I have put these 2 journal cards inside the pocket, and I have also added some hand-dyed trim or lace on this pocket, and another little pocket on the front of it with a couple little items inside. It might be tricky to get those back down in there with the lace there. I'll have to look into that. Around the corners. There we go. Little girl doing crafts. Over here I've added another pocket. This is just made out of some leftover paper that I had. I used decorative scissors to cut the edge and put some lace in behind. Added my hand-dyed green lace, a little cottage girl sticking up above, and the word dreamer, and a couple of, this is a journal card, and then this is a little, I kept those 3 tags together to make a little booklet that opens up that you can write on. I have lace attached on the other side of this, and I also have some more butterflies and flowers dangles off the side. This is an envelope that just clips on with a paper clip that I've tied some cheesecloth at the top, so this can be removed. And it's one of those that has the 4 flaps and opens up, and I've just put some ephemera inside. And I left the inside so it could be written on. On the back side of the envelope, I've decorated it with some beautiful lace and the drawers and the words "My Craft Room." And this just clips on. Art suitcase. I love these images. Over here, I added a tuck spot with this journal and a couple of our cards to write on. I also put lace on the back side of that. This is another one of the pocket tags that I made, and I've made it into a side pocket. So it has this pocket on the front with a tag that has some elements added on. Buttons, ribbons, little sewing features. These I showed all in my other video. And then there's a side pocket that has 2 journal cards that I have used my decorative corner punch, if you can see, on these 2 corners that stick out. This is the beginning of the second signature, which is a little different. I've stacked a lot of different size pages from the kit and some envelopes in here to make this middle signature. I wanted to have a lot of writing space, but then I ended up decorating some too. So I'll show you what I did. I've showed you that already. And inside that front cover of this signature, I have added a pocket, a side pocket, and a little belly band with another one of our little envelopes inside, and some tiny little ephemera. And this just tucks inside here to close. And then inside the envelope is a couple of tags that I decorated with some lace and some of the ephemera pieces. This is the flap of the envelope that's farther back. I just added lace and wrote "Get Crafty" on there. And these are just writing pages here. This one I added a half of a small doily decorated with a little pot of flowers and some journal cards. More writing space. Here's some lace with some the beautiful little flowers, enamel flowers and butterfly. I don't know how many of you have an old typewriter. I have 2. I have one that's probably from the 1950s, 60s, and then I have one that is very old, one of those old black typewriters. On this page, I decided to add a pocket and the ruler, one of the rulers at the top. It's filled with some tags and journal cards that can be written on. Some of that pretty antique lace I like, and some cheesecloth. The words "Dream It" and a crafter. This is the center here where this envelope is. This says, "Make pretty things. We love to make pretty things." And on the envelope itself, I wrapped around one of the small doilies with a pot of flowers on each side. This is a little hard to get out, what I put in there. Might want to cut this down farther if you make this so that it's easier to get out, but I just put one of the postcards and folded it in half for writing space. And put anything in there you want to. Over here I used a wreath and the word make it, bow, and some butterflies and flowers again. I just used the same types of things all the way through. Here's our pretty lace again. Some more writing pages. A little cottage girl with a letter. Some flowers. And this is the other side of that envelope that I had at the beginning. I wrapped a doily around it again with the pots. And inside are a couple of journal cards. I will pull them out there. A little bit hard to get in and out because of this being in the edge here. Again, you could cut the opening larger. Okay, so this is the back page of this center signature. I've used another one of my pocket tags that I made previously, and I glued it on so that I have a side pocket. I have a journal card in it. This one has a tag inside that says Vintage Love Letters. And then some old lace, a stack of letters tied with a bow, and a sealed letter. On this side, I used two of the envelopes that were included in the kit and made two side pockets with the measuring stick in between. I decorated the pockets with cheesecloth or lace and some images from the kit. Inside each one is a tag. This tag I just cut out from leftover paper that I had and glued down the ticket to make a tab. These just slide in the side and can be written on the back. Okay, this is the last signature. I love the lamps. I wouldn't mind having those exact ones in my room here. Some more of this is our cotton lace from Amazon. Another little cottage girl, room for writing. This has spools of ribbon, just like I have in my craft room right here for me to use. And at the bottom, I put the little tickets across and made a small little tiny pocket for some of our tiny little ephemera pieces. Some scissors and the word creative. On this page, I used the triple pockets that were in the kit, added some lace to the tops of two of them, decorated the front one with a half of a doily, paper doily, a lady working in her craft room, and the word crafted. And inside these pockets, I have some journal cards. But this is another one of the envelopes from the kit, and I just attached a one of the small journal cards on it as a tab to open it. And I've left it unglued so it opens all the way up for writing, and put a journal card inside. These envelopes can be used in so many ways in the journal. I really love them. A couple of tags in here. And some more down here. Just beautiful images. All that creates room for writing. Here's another vintage typewriter with writing space at the top and bottom. I get tired toward the end of the journal, so I left this blank. I left this as is. I had this beautiful trim that I bought, and it matches this so well that I attached it at the top with some of the cotton lace and a string of flowers, and this can just be lifted up for writing space. This is another one of my pocket tags that I made in a previous video. that I have glued down to make a side pocket with some tags inside, and a tag inside this pocket decorated with antique lace and old typewriter glasses, a pot of flowers, a cup of coffee with the little, if you can see the little dotted lines I made, the steam coming off the coffee. And this one has some sewing charms on it, plus a watering can and a key. Over here I did one of the corner tuck spots and added some of the beautiful lace from Amazon, a girl working on her crafts, and the words "Gonna Craft," and some tags in here. On this page for writing, I added the desk and the shelving like we have in our craft rooms. This looks very similar to mine. And I cut out the word crafter and made it like it's a little sign hanging on the wall. Some more of our pretty heart lace from Hobby Lobby. I have pots with pencils all around the room, colored pencils and different kinds of markers and things. This is another one of the envelopes that I just put on with a clip, and it is decorated with the word sparkle, some lace, and a collage of flowers, and it opens up to have several little things inside to write on, little clipboards. And this I just put the flap over the top and then clip it on with some of the ribbon on there. I left this page blank. Now you could put journal cards up in there underneath this clip if you wanted to. And this I showed on a previous video. It's just like a little portfolio. This is a butterfly that's been die cut that a friend sent me that matched, so I put that on there. I have closed this with Velcro dots, and it opens up to 2 pockets inside with writing space here and on here. These tuck into the pocket that's been decorated with antique lace. I don't know why things come out and they won't go back. There we go. Journal. This is a writing pen with letters and an open book with some book page, a little piece of book page. You know, writing is a craft too, and I love to write. Not that my handwriting is beautiful, but I like to write beautiful words. And this just closes back up. And this is the last page of our 3rd signature. And I showed you this in a previous video. I made some tags here out of what I thought would fit in behind here, but it didn't match up. So I made tags out of it, and then these little drawers kind of open up, little flaps like they're little drawers. And there's words on there, scissors, paper clips, the kinds of things that you would put in your small drawers. And this down here is some antique lace. This is mounted on a piece of torn paper. Whoops. Like I said, I can get things out, but I can't get them back in. Here we go, there. I kind of messed up that, so we'll see how that goes. There we go. Lace down here at the bottom. As always, there's more that I could do. I could add sparkle, I could do embossing, I can I could write some things in here, use more words, but I want to leave some space for myself to write, to add pictures and all. And on the back, I have that same lace that I've used on the front that I've also used to tie as a closure. It's so beautiful, and it wasn't all that expensive, from Amazon. And this is a little seal I have some gold seals, but I wanted to try to use the seal that says handmade with love by Carolyn with a flower in the center on some of the paper, but it was cardstock, so it didn't do as well as I wanted it to. So I just rubbed my brown ink over it so that you can read what it says. In the future, I'll either use the gold foil, or I will use regular paper in a solid color, and I think it'll show up better. My daughter got that for me, and it's a nice little a personal touch here. And I have at the bottom, I have all my little dangles hanging out with butterflies and flowers. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through of this journal. I enjoyed making it. I made it for you, and I made it for me. I like to share what I do, and I've mentioned before that I'm having to cut back on my videos because when I'm creating something, it takes so much longer to do it if I'm trying to make a tutorial or make a video as I go. So it takes time to upload it, time to record it, upload it, edit it, all the things that I do, and then share it on Facebook. So I will be doing that less frequently, but you'll still see the finished products, and you will get ideas from what I've done inside. And if you have any questions at all on anything I've done in here, just put it down below in a comment, and I will try to answer it any way that I can. In the meantime, I hope you'll remember that every day's a gift. Have a wonderful day. Every day has some blessings in it and some joy, and be sure to spread the joy around to others around you who may be having some difficulties. I've had my own today. My day did not start out well. I have a large standard poodle, and he pulled me right over on the ground, and I fell. That's the second time this week. So at my age, I'm 76, I don't need to be falling outside. So I'm looking into some training for him, and maybe some virtual fence, so I don't have to have him on a leash when I take him outside each day. It's a challenge. I love him so much, and I'm not giving him up, but I can't afford to end up with broken bones. My mother called. She's got mold under her ceiling in the bathroom. I had the tree trimmers come and cut 2 limbs off my trees that had broken off. So it started out to be kind of a weird day. So I decided to regroup, and I'm sharing this with you, which gives me great joy. And I'm gonna get this edited and upload some pictures and a video for you on my YouTube channel. So I hope you will enjoy it, and stay tuned for the next project. I still plan to do a banner with this same kit, and I'll be back and show you that when I get it finished. So have a great day, and I'll be back before you know it. I'll see you soon.